Human behavior is always an amazing thing. In the context of humans engaging in combat with each other, more often than not, certain ego fallacies emerge. Specifically, Dunning-Kruger. Dunning-Kruger in this context basically means that people more often than not grossly overestimate their abilities in a fight without having to take the time and effort to learn the skills necessary to survive. The amazing thing about this phenomenon is that this doesn't just apply to physical aspects, but also other logical aspects in the way we think. Thanks to this study that was done, we now have a better idea of how humans behave and interact with each other in certain situations. More often than not, our brains will tell us that we are always going to win every confrontation, argument, fight, or any other disagreement that we happen to come across in our lives. More importantly, this is a universal concept that addresses almost every human. Pretty amazing. Thanks to this study that was done back in 1999, we're now able to see how people grossly overestimate their metacognitive skills. Even though this particular test covered things such as logic and grammar and even humor, it has wide-ranging applications into human performance. In this context, self-defense and the use of defense options, because more often than not, when people purchase a defense option, say a pepper spray or firearm, they grossly overestimate how they're going to handle an actual threat. Hey, Keith with Blue Knight. I posted about this quick clip in the podcast, and I went back and I dug a little bit further and found something really, really interesting. Check this out. It's not just that this guy pointed a gun at somebody and that the guy took the gun away from him. There's more. I also do not recommend doing any kind of a barrel roll during a fight. That's just a move from Star Fox.
Do a barrel roll!
Well, let's get into it. According to a report from September last year by WFAA, Stephen Phillips was arrested and charged with aggravated assault after attempting to fire a gun at another subject. But I want you to watch this footage. There's more here.
Fighting. Oh, yep. Oh, yes, sir. Oh my gosh. There's a younger guy. Oh my God, he's got a gun. The older gentleman pulled out a gun. The older gentleman just pulled out a gun.
He collected, but it didn't hurt.
Yeah, oh my gosh.
The guy's fighting him with a gun.
Two white men. Yeah. One's an older gentleman and one's a younger guy. The older man has a gun on the younger guy.
The young man's holding the gun. He's trying to take it.
It's not just that Mr. Phillips pulled his gun out. He left the safety on. He didn't even have a holster. He just pulled it straight out of his pocket, which means he was carrying it loose. Keep in mind, too, just getting pushed down does not mean you get to respond with deadly force. That's merely force on force. This guy deserved the charges he got.